Hello, I'm Everin Pezdak and welcome to Sketchy Point of View, where I blend art and intellect on a video canvas in order to bring my sketchy perspective to life. Today I'll be sharing my sketchy thoughts on Oliver Anthony and his song, more specifically the reactions to his song, Men North of Richmond. I make my drawings ahead of time and I'm just using my tablet and pen to advance my notes mostly, but I might occasionally add in small edits to the image on the screen in real time to emphasize a point. There's a real and valid reason for that. Drawing and talking are really hard to do at the same time.
It's impossible.
At least for me, I am not Bob Ross. He was really good at that. I am not so much. But that doesn't mean that we can't still jump into it anyway, so let's get started. So Oliver Anthony came out of nowhere about 2 weeks ago, and people have a lot to say about his message. He's basically an anonymous nobody, just like most people. He's just, nobody knows him. And he's got this song that everyone is talking about, wondering where did this come from? Libs have been jumping all over it and speculating that he must be a conservative prop. I don't think that's how it happened, but you know, I also think that a lot of times people, when we hear arts and entertainment and things like that, we just assume that they must be liberal or have, you know, left-wing type leanings, politically speaking. But what is clear is that conservative media personalities found him very quickly and posted their song to their platforms, and it just caught fire and sailed up to #1 on iTunes. But that doesn't necessarily mean he's a prop.
It's a freaking prop!
The reality is that when the right people find you, the right accounts find and promote your content, you can go from nobody to like as viral as a pandemic overnight. And I'm not kidding. He hit the upload button and faster than a buttered speeding ticket.
Pretty damn fast. Yeah.
Everybody knew his song and his name, and now he's got multiple songs that are like in the top 10 people are streaming. And I mean, it went from 1 song to 3 songs to something like 9 songs. It's incredible. So what is this song about? How would I like even describe this? I keep seeing people call it a country song, and when I say see people call it that, I'm reading like their comments and they keep calling it a country song, but having listened to it, I wouldn't call it that. It's more like it's a folk style lamentation that has somehow managed to get pretty much like everyone who listens to it, they have an emotional response to it.
What is this feeling?
It has such broad appeal because he really just sings about normal things that normal people living normal lives think about. And let's face it, the world is so far from normal.
This is weird.
That normalcy actually seems novel and makes this kind of a edgy song just because it's so damn normal. So what is normal? His lyrics are very straightforward. There are no veiled meanings. He's critical of rich politicians, aren't we all? And the disastrous policies that they've made that lead to low pay and high cost of living. But he doesn't stop there. He's got plenty of judgment to go around.
I got a lot of problems with you people!
So much so that you might be drawn in to say the first verse and be like, I'm on your side. But then he goes on and line after line, he's got more to say. Next thing you know, he's talking about pedophiles, welfare recipients, women, fat people, and oh, how triggering is that? Nope, you can't say fat. Oliver said fat. What are we gonna do? Okay, no, he's not saying any of this. First off, you're probably reading it wrong. He's not concerned with rich people or politicians. He's critical of rich people who are politicians, more specifically, who have built their wealth off the back of the taxpayer. I'm pretty sure he wants to make more money, just like most people want to make more money. He'd like to be more wealthy himself, or just keep the wealth he makes instead of lining the pockets of people that don't represent him, even though that is exactly what their job is. Same goes for the fat comments. I don't think he hates fat people. He just hates his taxes paying for their Fudge Rounds. I had to Google that. I've never heard of Fudge Rounds. I'm pretty sure the next verse he writes is going to be about how much he hates people who don't know what Fudge Rounds are. He's coming for me. I know it. So who likes it? There are a lot of people that like it. There's a ton of people that identify with his message. Conservatives kind of like it. The working man really seems to like it. Christians kind of like it, but they get a little uppity about the use of the word bullshit. So, I don't know. They'll figure it out. I read through a lot of YouTube comments, and there were a lot of people from all over the world commenting that they're going through it too, and I believe that. So who hates it? there's a lot of people that really don't like it at all. Well, I'm not even going to say a lot of people, because like there are definitely some people that don't like it. The political left is super confused.
I'm so confused.
Mostly because they've long assumed that folk singers are all liberal, and that's been mostly true. They have the Joan Baez's, the Bob Dylans, the Phil Oakses, the Woody Guthries.
It's all mine.
They kind of had the market cornered on this kind of stuff. And so they heard folk music and immediately thought like, oh, he's going to say something I like. And he didn't. Mainstream media reaction I thought was a little bit weird, in the sense that they clearly hate it, but they're not sure exactly how to attack it yet. They're like a dog chasing cars, making a big old show and barking and showing their teeth, but they wouldn't know what to do with it if they caught the damn thing. I'll show you what I mean. I snagged some quotes that pretty much illustrate what I was saying. The first one is from Drew McGarry of the San Francisco Gate. This is the work of an artist who is talented, raw, and ignorant. Wow, what a sweetie. Nardine Saad of the LA Times writes, a country song that has been dubbed an ode to the working class, but also an alt-right anthem that's offensive and fat-phobic. Because, you know, we can't make art that's offensive, and we can't talk about fat people, I guess. I saved Rolling Stone for last because they're the only one on the list that actually pretends to be about music. So, Rolling Stone, I'm coming for you right now.
Oh, it's on!
Right-wing influencers just found their favorite new country song. It's already a problem, because what did I say about country songs earlier? And again, Rolling Stone, you're supposed to be a music magazine. I was expecting more from you, but that was the headline. And then he goes on with a sub-headline. In Men North of Richmond, a singing farmer in Virginia blasts high taxes and obese people on welfare, and even appears to allude to Jeffrey Epstein, because why would we want to be critical of that douchebag? I don't know. He's gross. Maybe we should be critical of him. Reads the subheadline. Joseph Hudak writes that for the Rolling Stone, and he writes a whole bunch more right afterward, but it pretty much is just a lot of the same. I kept trying to pull out quotes, and they were just kind of like this homogenized sort of ick.
Blah, 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 blah.
I'm trying to think of how to describe it. You could tell he hated the tune. I mean, that was very clear. You could tell he hated the tune. But it was almost like talking to someone with really bad breath. The words just all blend together. And at some point, all I could smell was like 3-day-old hot dog water. So my reaction, I found myself kind of swinging through emotions as I listened. That's what high quality music will do. It makes you react. It makes you think things, makes you feel things. And that's what I think a lot of people did, which is why so many people were just passing this song, and it got the notoriety that it did so quickly. But wrapping up, Oliver Anthony really did do a good job of drawing me into his world. So I decided to draw him into mine. That's a really dumb pun. If I could give him one critique though, and I do have one, he needs to change the lyric in bag of fudge. It's not funge, it's fudge. Yes, bag of fudge rounds to box of fudge rounds. And I know this, and I'm an expert on it now because I Googled the hell out of it, and I did not see one image of them in bags. And that means I'm an expert on this for sure, and that is factually incorrect. And thank you so much for listening to my sketchy point of view. I look forward to hearing yours, so please leave it in the comments section, and please hit the subscribe button. It means a ton to me, and I would love to return the favor by bringing you good content. Thank you.